Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. This one's going to be tough because I really don't have a roadmap in my head where I want to go with this. I know what I want to say, but the stations that I want to refer to, I don't clearly have it here. So I hope it will turn out okay and I can deliver what I want to say. Now, but the general idea of our discussion tonight is about what I constantly hear back from you guys while you say that you feel better and you appreciate it and you are just dealing with things and so on and so forth, all the compliments. But at the same time, I hear that you're saying to me that you can't stand hearing that she's with somebody else or she's with some other guy or all these things that kind of hurts you. Some of you, not all of you, some of you say that, like, I can't stand it, I don't know what to do, it's very difficult for me, bothers me and all that, so forth. Well, maybe we can discuss that tonight. First of all, let's focus a little bit on what is woman to you. Again, I'm talking with boys, with men, and the girls probably can reverse the whole idea and see if you can make sense out of it. So what is woman to you? What do you know about woman? How did you get to know about woman? Well, you were born, so you already know through your childhood, you understood that you were born from a woman. So that's one connection, one point of reference and importance in your mind about woman, how important she is, her role in your life, the way you know her. And then she nursed you from her fed you milk, and so you remember that psychological security, that feeling of protection and food. And of course, later on, you learned what other benefits the milk bottles have. That's beside the point, but we're talking about how you were programmed, okay? So we're still in the infancy, so we just focus on how women was introduced to you, not how later on you found more amazing things about her. So now, getting back, meanwhile, back in the ranch, getting back to what we were talking about. So, you learned that you were born by a woman, you were fed by a woman, you were held and protected by a woman. You felt that security, that the world cannot bring any harm to you in the arms of your mother. And you were bathed, you were clothed, you were nursed if you had a cold or any kind of a sickness by a woman. We're talking about how you got the experiences that you had through your childhood and what shaped your conditioning of the importance of a woman to you without even trying to learn it, but that's how the whole conditioning took place. And then, of course, you were conditioned to obey, your mother and father, but we are now talking about mother. And the girls can think about similar, not exactly same because it's very different. Father doesn't have those roles that we talked about, mother has, but again, you have certain things that father, the protection that father has created for you and so on. So you can bring those examples for you, but along the same line of discussion, maybe you can turn that for your benefit. But we're talking about boys' point of view here, for boys' benefit. So then you learn to obey her, listen to what she says, right or wrong, but she had all the control in her hand. You know, the toys you can buy, the places you can go, the food you can eat, the doing your homework. She helped you, maybe, or maybe your father did, but we're talking about the portion that your mom did. And then, of course, all these things was the first parts of creating the file of the value and importance of woman, and that she never abandoned you. In most cases, So your expectations is all these: psychological security, warmth, caring, nursing, providing comfort and support, and what a good boy, kind of elates you, makes you feel good about yourself, affirmation and satisfaction that she's happy with you, and of course the fact that she never abandoned you. That's a pretty big load of conditioning. So then you grow up and you get to the age of 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and you go. And you meet a girl which is same gender as the woman that you have learned the importance of her. So now you expect from this girlfriend, because you see her in the role of a future mother, future woman, but at the same time, what you know about the gender of woman is all these wonderful things that you've been conditioned to expect. Expect her to bring that psychological security for you, the warmth, the comfort, the support, the there boy. If you get sick, if something wrong, anything wrong in your life, you expect all that come from this girlfriend, this woman that you got to know. Whether she's capable of it or not is beside the point, but you think of her as that humongous role, that what woman is to you, has such a strong and important place in your life, a respectable place with so much power and ability to provide all these things. And then of course you get very disappointed when you see not every girl these days have any, even an epsilon, a little bit of what your mother could do, or a mother can do, or when they become a mother, they may end up doing. And you see, it's far from it. But yet, you're not conditioned to understand that, so you're shocked. You shock the hell out of you that this girlfriend left me. Now it's going to bed with another man, going out with somebody else. I feel abandoned. That wasn't in the works. You didn't expect that from a woman. What happened to the support? That support is not there. Wow, that's a shock. But I'm supposed to get psychological security from her, but that's not going to be there. She's giving psychological security to somebody else tonight. So everything is a big shock to you, and you can't believe it. The reason that you guys, one of the reasons that you guys keep writing me says, I can't believe it. I can't cope with the fact that she's out with somebody else and all that is all because of your conditioning, that you don't expect these natural behavior of a girlfriend after breaks up with you to be going out with somebody else. You don't expect that because you expect her to be endowed with all those characteristics that you came to learn from a woman, which was the role of your mother in your life. And you're shocked and you can't believe it. So the best thing to do is to believe the fact that You are the one who gave all those credentials to her. She didn't do anything to prove to you that she has all those credentials that you thought a woman should have, or that's the role model of a woman in your mind was. Did she ever produce all those wonderful traits that you thought, characteristics that you thought that a woman is capable of? No. So who did? You did. You put that in your head. Because she has the shape of a woman, physically she is a female, therefore you gave her all those credentials that a real woman has for one man, a woman who dedicates herself to her man, the relationship being a serious, a strong relationship. You gave all that to her without her having had any role in it, trying to show you that she has all those things. Years didn't go by to prove to you that she would stand by you, that she would provide, she would take care of you. Look, to you, love is something that is really not what love is. To you, the fact that the woman lays beside you, sleeps with you, gives you her body, gives you her warmth, the times that you spend together, the intimacy, the comfort, the vacations, the hangouts, that feeling of that I am somebody, I'm important because a woman is now interacting with me. All of that comes from your conditioning that woman is so important because of all the wonderful things that you learn while you're growing up from a woman, from your mother, and all these characters that you learned what a real woman is. And now suddenly you are thinking that all these things that you're receiving from this relationship is what you think love is. But years didn't pass for you to be sure that she's actually providing you with all these characteristics, all these specialities. But you suddenly assumed that she would or she can. Maybe she's not capable of. But you made it look like in your own mind. So really, what you're really in love with is with the attributes and the characters that you gave this girlfriend in your mind. In other words, you created all that you thought a woman should be in your mind of her, which in fact really is you're in love with your thoughts. What you're in love with, or you think you're in love with, it's your thoughts. You mix up the love, that the way we think we know about it, with pleasure. Because she sleeps beside you, gives you her body, and brings that outrageous pleasure that we all seem to love, then you think that is love. But that is intimacy, that is pleasure. What is pleasurable is not necessarily the woman that you're looking for. Just because she gives you pleasure, you misunderstand it and you think that pleasure, that sexuality, is the reason for you to think that this is the same as love at the higher degree. And what has created that? Your mind has told you this is love. It's pleasure, and pleasure is what you really want. Sex is what you really, really want, especially at the younger age. And you think because you get that from her, therefore she has all the importance that a woman really should have, which is who is involved in a real serious relationship. And therefore suddenly you think, because pleasure is a big part of your desire, and she's giving it to you, you receive it from her, therefore, and this pleasure being so important to you, therefore she's very important to you. And because she's very important to you, then you think, that's love. And then when she leaves, she gets bored, or she doesn't want it anymore, or whatever reason, which is of course not a relationship, not a reflection on you. Well, I shall explain. When she leaves, you get devastated that you can't believe because my love left. Well, really, your pleasure left, and all those other credentials that you think she had, she may not have. She may not had it at all. You gave it to her, so you really, the thought that you had created in your mind left. She had nothing to do with all the things you thought of her. She was an entity. She was there for her own pleasure, her own understanding and experience, and you were together for a while and she left. But now suddenly she's more important than what she actually was for you, because you gave her all those amazing things that you expect your wife to have. And you're so easily, like if it's Halloween and you're giving candy, you give all those things that you think your wife should have to any girlfriend that you meet. As soon as you see she's a woman, physically looked like a woman, and she gives you pleasure of sex, and suddenly you bring all those psychological security that you received, and you know that a woman is capable of giving, you give all those credentials to her, and of course you're shocked when she leaves, because you think that person with all those wonderful angelic characteristics have left you, and now you're shocked and you feel so devastated and devaluated because you really think someone so important left you. But no, the one who left you it wasn't that highest quality of woman that was suitable for you that left you. Someone who left you that it didn't work out, but didn't have all those credentials that you gave her. So therefore you can't feel that someone so fantastic left you, therefore I'm so devaluated, I'm so devastated because that means I'm not good enough. Well, if she exactly was what you thought she was, she would never leave, because all those wonderful qualities would never be able to leave with all those understanding and compassion and all those things. So the one who has left you was not what you thought she was. It was a creation of your thoughts. And now only the thought, the creation of your thought has left you, which means no big deal. Look, if she has left you, that means she wasn't really what you were looking for, right? Otherwise, if she was what you were looking for, she would stay, right? It's like saying, I found something that I thought is gold. And later on, when I showed around to the, gold specialist or jeweler or someone who can tell what is gold or not, it wasn't gold. It wasn't gold, or it was a yellow stone. But now that she's left, you're saying, what if she will be gold for somebody else? Well, listen, she wasn't gold. If she's not gold, she can't be gold somewhere else either. So what are you worried about? That I can't cope that if she's with somebody else. Listen, if she wasn't good with you, if you guys weren't good together, if she wasn't the quality they were looking for, so what the heck do you care if she's with somebody else? She's still, whether she's with you or with somebody else, she's still not what was good enough for you or what could work together between you two. It wasn't compatible. You guys were not working together, or she wasn't good enough for you, and she's now with somebody else. But just because she's with somebody else doesn't mean that she that was not a gold, now that she's with somebody else, she will be turning from regular rock, yellow rock, to gold because she's not with you. That reasoning that you're doing to yourself doesn't work. You have to understand, if she wasn't good enough, if she wasn't the gold, that's why it didn't work out. She left. So if she's left, she's still who she was. Doesn't have the credential that you gave it to her. Doesn't mean that means she's not going to be gold somewhere else if she wasn't here. If she didn't have all those credentials that you gave it to her with you, and surprised you, shocked you, and left, and you realized she didn't have all those things that you thought she has, why do you think she wouldn't suddenly will develop all those now that she's with somebody else? And stop thinking that, oh, I can't cope that she's with somebody else. Cope with it. The minute that it doesn't work, just have no problem, believing that, okay, she's with somebody else in bed, laying there and enjoying herself, and doesn't matter. Because if it's not working with you, then what do you care if she's with somebody else or not? Wish her happiness. And you're happy too, because what's not working, it would be better off if you're not with it. Otherwise, what are you trying to do? You're going to try to make something work which really doesn't have the ingredients to work. So you can stop worrying about, I can't cope with it that she's with somebody else. Let her be with somebody else. And you go be with somebody else. It didn't work out. So that's the end of that. So I want you to understand that what you're really missing, what you're afraid of, is nothing but imagination, a thought. You created that thought, and that thought is now gone. So have your thought about something else, something more wonderful, something that is suitable for you. And remember, if she doesn't care about you, then what do you care if she cares about somebody else? If this wheel doesn't turn for you, who gives a damn if it turns at all for somebody else? Let it turn for somebody else. They deserve each other. And you should go and find somebody that is suitable for you. And girls, of course, you can turn all this around and think about the same thing. If the guy has left you, cheated on you, or left you, well, if it wasn't good quality. So if it's not a good quality, better go with somebody else. Why should it be with you if he's not a good quality? Let the bad quality go out of your life to open a space for you to find a good quality and a better situation. So this is why you're shocked and you can't believe it and all that. It's your thought that you can't believe it. You're actually in love with your own thought. Otherwise, there's no reality to what you created in her. She wasn't what you thought. And now she's gone. Hallelujah. Go on and find somebody else who's more suitable to you, and enjoy your life and live your life to the fullest, and develop yourself, make a better person out of yourself. Use these experiences to become wiser, whether you're a boy or a girl, and go on and find the mate that you can be proud of and you can have more and more things in common with, and build a life together, or build a good relationship, at least a good experience, as long as it lasts. Everybody is good. It's just that we don't all fit each other. We got to find our own fits and our own matches. Therefore, wish good for everybody, whether they've left you or you're still together. Wish well for them, and you also go and find what's suitable for you, and wish well for yourself as well. Talk to you soon, and be good to yourself.